Hey guys, what is up? It's Card Shuffler 99 here today. Adam's going to be showing you guys a pretty cool trick. Credit to A Million Card Tricks, so make sure you check out his channel. He has some pretty cool tricks on his channel too. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe button, and the notification button, which is the bell, so the second we post, you guys can check us out. Also, our Instagram is cardshuffler_99, our Twitter is cardshuffler99, and our Gmail is cardshuffler99@gmail.com. If you have any trick ideas, tips, questions, stuff like that, they'll all be in the description. Also, there will be a link for Free My Apps in case you guys want any free gift cards, where you guys can buy decks like bicycle decks, stuff like that. So yeah, download Free My Apps. You get points by downloading apps, so make sure you download some apps, and then you'll get some gift cards. Without further ado, let's get into the trick.
All right, Robert. So I have a few cards here, and I want you to try to memorize these cards in a few seconds. Okay, so I'll give you a few seconds. Go ahead. Try to memorize them as fast as you can.
Got it. I got it.
Perfect. Okay. Now, I'm going to ask you a series of questions. I want you to answer these as best as you can. First question, how many cards are there?
4.
1, 2, 3, 4 cards. So that's good. Right there, 4 cards. Okay? Now, if you didn't know, there was actually a black 10. Do you know the suit of this black 10?
Spade?
Spades. That
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
There we go. The 10 of spades. Perfect. You're pretty good. That's
2 for 2.
There you go. You got 2 for 2. Take the 10. We'll set that there. Now, if you didn't know, there's actually a red 10 as well. Do you know what that was?
Hearts. I think, right?
There we go. The 10 of hearts. That's what? 3 for 3?
3.
All right. That's pretty good. Not going to lie. That's pretty good. Okay. Now, we actually have 2 cards here. And what I want you to do is try to... Do you remember what these 2 cards are?
Yes.
What are the 2
Jack
cards?
of Clubs and the Joker, right?
The Jack of Clubs and the Joker. Are you sure that those are the cards that are here?
Yeah.
You want to change your mind? You can change your mind.
No, I think I'm good.
All right, this is what I'm going to do. We'll go count of 3. Let's see if you were right, okay?
All right.
3, 2, 1. There it is. The Joker and the Jack of Clubs. You're pretty good. What is that?
4 for 4.
That's
wait,
4.
Wait, 5 for 5.
It's 5 for 5.
Yeah.
Okay. Now watch closely. I'll take the Joker here. I'm going to put the Joker face to face with the Jack, okay? And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give it 1 turn, okay? And you see, I'm going to give it some flip overs here, okay? Just like that. And you see, the minute I do that, you start to lose perception. And as you start to get a little cocky here, you know, you went 5 for 5, or so you think you went 5 for 5. You were actually wrong the entire time because we actually have the 10 of hearts and the 10 of spades right here the entire time. Which means that from right here, from the beginning of the trick, the Jack of Clubs and the Joker were actually sitting on the table in front of your face the entire time, meaning you were actually only 1 for 5. That's the trick, guys. Let's get straight into the tutorial. Alright, guys, so let's get straight into the tutorial. So for this trick, you're going to need a couple things. First of all, you're going to need a bicycle deck, or any deck, it doesn't really matter, but you are going to need 2 separate decks, unless you have some of the gimmicks that I have here, okay? So this trick does involve gimmicks, and I know that is kind of a set-off to a lot of you guys. But, you know, I think one of the common things I get is, you shouldn't be doing, tricks with gimmicks. However, it's important to understand that gimmicks, even if they're homemade gimmicks, they actually only enhance magic, okay? So, there's only so many tricks that you can do with just a plain deck of cards. Even if it takes, a duplicate deck, a duplicate set of cards with some double-sided tape to make, some double face cards, some double backers, it's well worth the trick that you can do with it.
That's an amazing trick right there.
I highly recommend you guys make these gimmicks. I know a lot of you guys don't want to ruin your cards, but double-sided tape will not ruin the cards. I'll tell you that right now. And for sure, if you don't want to do this with your nicer decks, get some cheaper decks from the Dollar Tree or wherever you guys are. You guys can get some dollar decks. But yeah, so you're going to need a duplicate set of decks, and basically, you're going to end up with a few cards here, okay, for the trick. Now, I'm going to go through each card specifically, okay? So, you're going to need a normal Joker, just like that, a normal Joker, okay? You're going to need a normal Jack of Clubs, a normal 10 of Spades, and now this 10 of Hearts here is actually gimmicked, okay? And it's gimmicked in a kind of an odd way. So, what I have here is the 10 of Hearts, okay? On the back of the 10 of Hearts, I have a duplicate Jack of Clubs. So if you guys have a double face card here, this will work. If not, you're going to need to tape some cards together, okay? So typically what I do when I have these double face cards, what I'll do is I'll actually Take 2 cards. So for example, let's take 2 cards here. Okay. And all you're going to do is, if you're making a double face, in the corners, I like to put 4 little strips of tape, okay? And these can be very small pieces, and you just stick them together just like that. And it's important that you get tape in the corners, because a lot of times the corners will actually peel off with these cards if you don't put them in the corners there. So this actually prevents the corners from peeling away, and, you know, the card's kind of revealing as 2. So once you have that, on the jack side, you're going to take a small piece of double-sided tape. You're going to put it right in the center here, okay? And I put it horizontally just like that. And all you have to do here is kind of dab at it a little bit. Just, you know, touch it. Try to get a little bit of the stickiness off of the tape, okay? And basically what you're going to do is now you're going to take a duplicate joker. Okay, so for this, you're going to need a duplicate joker and a duplicate jack. But again, you could do this with any cards, really. But you're going to need these duplicates. You're going to take this joker here, and you're actually going to put it face down onto the jack, okay? You're going to lightly tap on it to keep those together, and that's your gimmick. So really all you have here is a double face card with the jack sticking to the joker, just like that. And this is the entire trick, really. So I'm going to be showing you guys a bit of a different method than a million card trick. This is actually a simpler method than the actual trick. So I know a lot of you guys, you know, you like the advanced tricks, but this is literally just me taking the trick and making it easier for you guys, because I know the actual trick involves a lot of sleights. And this, honestly, it doesn't take anything away from the trick, because all the moves are the exact same, except, you know, there's a few less sleights, but everything is done the same way, okay? So really, it's all about the order of the cards. What you're going to do here is you're going to start out with this kind of gimmicked 10 of hearts. You're going to put that down first. You're then going to take the jack, the 10, and then the joker. So that's your order here. You have the joker, the 10, the jack, and the 10 of hearts. And once again, the gimmick 10 is on the bottom here, okay? And you can start with it just like this, okay? Now, once again, you have these 4 cards, and you're going to start the trick, and you're basically going to ask the person to memorize the cards. Now, if they can't memorize cards well, you can have like a piece of paper where they can write them down if you really need that to happen. But technically, with the series of questions, they can get the question wrong. You know, that's completely fine. And you could basically tell them, oh, you got that wrong. This is the actual answer. So that's also fine as well. So you can do any way you want. But basically, I start with this order. Once again, the joker's on top, face up. So when the cards are face down, the joker's on the bottom. And basically, I start out, I say memorize the cards, okay? So for example, I'll go here, I'll spread the cards, and I basically try to memorize these, okay? And once again, make sure the gimmick is, you know, put together well, so that way it doesn't flash. So you have them memorize the cards, and once they're done, you're going to take the cards just like this. Now you're going to ask them what or how many cards there are, okay? And at this point, all you have to do is legitimately count off 4 cards, because there are 4 cards here. Now this gimmick will count off as 1, okay? And it does stick together, so you don't have to try to, you know, grab a few cards. So it's just 1, 2, 3, 4. So all I did there was basically just reverse the order of the cards, okay? And they're going to be correct, bam, 1 for 1. There were 4 cards, good job, okay? Now what you have to do is a double lift. So now you have to get 2 cards, okay? You're going to do a double lift, and you're going to ask them what the suit of the black 10 was, okay? And you're going to do a double lift, and bam. If they say 10 of clubs and they're wrong, basically say, no, it was actually the 10 of spades. So that was actually wrong there, and then you basically tell them, you know, oh, that's fine. Let's see if you can get the other questions right. But you show them it's the 10 of spades. Okay, once again, these are 2 cards, but you're going to show it as 1, and you're going to flip it back over, and you're going to pretend like you're setting the 10 of spades down. You say, okay, we'll set the 10 of spades down, okay? What you're going to do here is you're actually going to peel off 1 card and hold a pinky break, okay? Just hold a pinky break or a thumb break, whatever you want to do. So once again, all I did was peel off 1 card, hold a pinky break, and now I'm going to ask them what the suit of the red 10 was, okay? And basically the answer to that is the 10 of hearts. Once again, I already have a pinky break here, okay? And there's actually 2 cards here. But I'm going to flip 2 over as 1 again, and bam, show the 10 of hearts, okay? So they could be right or wrong. Doesn't matter if they're right or wrong. You say, okay, we'll take the 10 of hearts and we'll set that right on top of the 10 of spades. And I try to emphasize that this is the 10 of spades and 10 of hearts. But in reality, you already have the normal joker and the normal jack already set there, okay? So what you have left here is the 2 10s, okay? But you need to make it seem like you have the jack and the joker here, right? So in reality, what you have is the jack and the jokers right here, okay? So if you were to separate these cards, you have the jack and the joker. And if you flip it over, you have the 2 10s, okay? So all you have to do here is you actually need to take this card on the bottom of this 10, and you do need to flip it face up, okay? So all you would have to do here, how about I come around and I basically show you guys. So come around here, okay? And all I'm doing from the back, okay, is I'm going to hold a thumb brake, okay? And I'm just turning over the card, okay? So that's all you have to do. You just have to get that turnover method and learn to do that. That's very important. You just have to turn it face up onto the bottom. Okay, let me come back around. So once you have that set up, all you're going to do here is you're actually going to try to get a pinky brake, okay? Above the top or under the top card, okay? And what that's actually going to allow is this double-sided tape to kind of separate from the card. That way they're not actually sticking, okay? So you're going to lift up here, kind of try to separate the cards a little bit. That way they're not sticking. And all you're going to do is you're going to say, once they, you're going to make up a story. I just like to say, do you remember what the 2 cards were? They're going to name it. And basically all I do is I take it and I just throw it down just like that, okay? And keep this face down for now, or you could have it face up, doesn't matter. But you can't flash this, for example. So let's say you're here. You don't want to show the jack because obviously the jack shouldn't be face up. So I do this big motion like that. And it kind of seems like I turn the cards over, which makes sense why this is face down. I say, okay, there's the joker and there's the jack. Good job. You're going to take the joker, you're going to put it right back on to the jack just like that. And I like to give it a spin and put pressure in the middle. What that does is it actually allows the joker and the jack to actually stick again, just like that, okay? So you're going to put pressure, give it some spins, whatever you want to do. Now you actually need to flip over the cards an odd number of times, okay? So what this does, it'll actually open the packet up to this part right here, okay? So all you do is you're here, okay? And you're just going to give it a random number of spins, okay, until you end up with the 10s, okay? Obviously, it doesn't really matter what side you end up on, but personally, I like to end up on the side where this isn't going to be, like, on top. So, for example, once you have that there, okay, all I do is, you just give it the flips, okay? And basically, at that point, you're basically done. You can show the 10s. These 2 cards are already sticking to one another. So you're basically done. So once again, you're in this situation here. You have this face-up card, okay? You put this back on top. I like to give it an odd number of spins. It doesn't matter. You can do odd or even. I like to give it even, and I usually go 5 spins. It doesn't matter, though. No matter where you pick up, it's going to be a 10. Now, if you're nervous that they're going to wonder why this 10 is face up or why this 10 is face up, whichever way you pick it up, feel free to just do another one of these turnover ideas, and you can show the 2 10s here and the jack and the joker there. That is the trick, guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and this is Card Shuffler 99. Peace out.